Hello, hello. Welcome to the stream, everyone. So today I have been doing, well, not today, but the past couple days, I've been doing some value distillation studies, which is a really powerful tool for learning how to paint really well, but also draw. I keep saying I'm going to make a video on these things, but I think lately it's just been a lot easier to stream since I don't have to get in my own way. It's a lot easier to just stay focused on what actually matters, you know, instead of like the algorithm and all that nonsense. So I've refined this character's face. If you've seen it from one of the earlier streams, I'm really happy with it. Actually, let's go ahead and duplicate this, because I made a lot of progress. I don't need a lot of these extra layers here. Yeah, we don't need that one. Don't need that one. Don't need this one. Yeah, this was the old face. Oh my god, I have so many layers going on here. Bear with me. So this is what I had before. Then I did some refinements to the body. Although I don't think they're much better. Yeah, I don't need this. This one. Yeah, I was just testing out different lines for the smoke coming out of her neck. I wanted that to be a big part of this Cyberpunk character where she was basically smoking without having to open her mouth. I can delete this one. And oh, that one has a lot of the Cyberpunk idea still there. Nice. Okay. I don't think I need this one. I'm still liking the straight smoke lines. These are some of the different ideas I did. But a lot of this was so stressful because I didn't know what looked best with just as a, you know, single independent image. But with this distillation thing, a lot of people call it different stuff. Like you could call it just value grouping and different things like that. But I'm going to do a little bit of a study on this drawing that Rhino Tuna did. Just to explain it and do a little practice for myself. And then I'm going to do a study with this as well. Wait a second. Let me see if I don't have a better image to use. Yeah, this one. That one's a bit easier. Getting layers. No, I don't want all of those. Just trying to organize this a bit more. What? Okay, what happened? Jeez, you can get so easily confused. Just because I had the group selected without any of the layers, it thought I wanted to select all of the group itself. Okay, finally, now we can stay organized. If you're wondering why I don't do this before stream, it's because I get too caught up in trying to be perfect. It's much easier to just do it here with you guys, and then you can see how things actually look, right? So, when it comes to distilling values and what's important, it's like this mixture of looking at shape, and there's another term for this. What was it? Graphic reduction. That's another way to call it. And then value. But this also works with detail level and composition. And so it's really good to be able to have one thing that you can do that helps you learn and study several things at once. So if we look at this image, and then let's just make it black and white, because this is going to help. Colors don't really matter much for this stage, because they usually follow the lead of this value structure. It's going to make a lot more sense. I feel like I'm being confusing. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know in the chat. Be happy to answer. But looking at this, right, the values, you can see this area is really light, this area is really light, her hair is dark, but it can also be in terms of design. Like her skin isn't much, let me bring this out. Here, her skin is still pretty dark. That's 51%. That's 21%. They're both pretty dark, not nearly as bright as like her shirt, which is 78. But when it comes to value distillation, you're reducing everything down to 2 values only to describe everything. Hey, what's up, guys? Puraplane and Arasaka Goon. Hey, welcome. Welcome. There'll be more Cyberpunk stuff if you came for the title. But all of this, right, is black. It's not necessarily in shadow, but it's dark, so you still want to color it black. This is in shadow, so you want to do that too. But then when it comes to her face and her neck, I wouldn't put this in shadow. And it's because you also want to describe what people are looking at. The most information isn't always the most, it doesn't always follow what makes the most sense to show. So another example here is, I would make all of her hair black here, right? Let's just ignore that for now, because that little lollipop doesn't make much of a difference at all in the success of this piece and how it reads. I'm gonna be sloppy or else this will take forever. And so we've got that. Her pants. Now you see this area is in light, but then down here near her crotch or over here it's in shadow, the shadow being cast. But her pants are black. So visually all of this should also be, you could also simplify all of it as black. Just like that. Now, here, her shirt, the shadow's pretty dark. Overall, I think that if we hide this, right, you still can't really tell what we're looking at. So I would also go ahead and color all of this in as black. Because basically you're doing a combination of drawing with a pen with no what do you call it, pen pressure, none of that. And then you're also using an ink brush, like an India ink brush. Think of it that way. So it's like a pen and India ink. If you don't know what India ink is, it's basically like, just imagine painting with octopus ink. It's just jet black. The curly hair, I don't know, sorry. I wish I did, but I just picked out, I found this from Pinterest and it stood out to me because it is an AI. I won't say it's obviously not AI, it's not always obvious. Because this is one area that AI is actually not even that good at. And I would also, this is a bit tricky, I don't know if I would make that black, but I would definitely make this necklace black. Like that. And then now if we look at, you can kind of tell what's going on here, right? You have an idea. And ideally, all of the lines for the character would also help, but that would just take too long. I don't want to invest that much time in just doing the study on someone else's work. But the eyes are clearly very dark too. Something that's going to help is if we just do this, so then we know where we're at. So the eyebrows, the eyelashes, well not, yeah, the eyebrows are just one line. We have the shape of her hair. And with that, you can really get an idea for what is going on in the image. Now, let's look at this one real quick. We would do the same thing. And what your goal is to do, again, is to basically paint with just black on a white sheet of paper and try to show as much information as you can. Because if you think about it, if you were to just draw with lines to draw the hair, you would have to draw so many lines that you're basically doing the same thing. You're just adding shading. And it would look really messy. Like it would look like a very high detail, like technical drawing of a robot android diagram or something like that. I would make her bow this black silhouette too, because it's dark. It's not really, if it was in shadow we'd want to do that too, but it doesn't matter since it's really dark colored. And so this is where this starts to help a lot, because you see this hair behind her, right? Once we add this, you can get an idea. If I never showed you what the image looks like originally, you can already tell that this is probably a person pointing their finger out towards us, like doing the peace sign, right? And then maybe this will be a bit faster. If I color fill to speed this up, the shape of the silhouette matters a lot. This is why shape matters, because with just blacks and whites, you can tell what is happening in the image. And this is how your brain works. It will look for all of these shapes in that first split second that you see this. And if all of the shapes work, then you kind of get it. it comes off as just, ooh, I like this drawing, or I like this character. You just enjoy it more. And then I'll do a small brush to do some of the details in this one since there's less. Shout out to India. Oh, cool. What time is it there? Tracing from the drawing. I'm just doing this for, see, it's only if you're doing this for a very specific purpose. I'm going to show you a step that completely bypasses this in a second using another app. Because when you combine all of those, then you'll see it works. But tracing versus not tracing isn't the question. Yeah, trying to shape it out like yourself. You want to do that with your own illustration, yeah. You definitely want to do that with your own illustration. But right now you're looking at it and you're just guessing what's the most important. It's like doing something with some, it's like riding a bike with different levels of training wheels, you know? Now, using lines like this is okay in anime style because there's always going to be lines. But you don't want to have to rely on them fully to be able to get this picture, to get a read on what you're looking at. See, so like with just that, you got the proportions, the anatomy, you've got the character, you can tell they're female, you can tell that they go to school because you can kind of tell that this is a skirt. So like in this case, if this was my drawing, I'm not saying that they should have done this, but I would have made the silhouette like this. Because if that makes it obvious that she's wearing a skirt, then why not do it? You can tell that this is a bow, you don't need to see the colors, you don't need to see the values, right? You can see all of that with just that. And if I drew the lines for the Rhino Tuna example, it would work. So if you've done something like this, which you could go ahead and do from there, is take an image like this, not necessarily share a JPEG, just bring it into another app. So we're going to bring it into Art Studio Pro or Photoshop. But Photoshop on the iPad doesn't have this feature that I'm going to use. Art Studio Pro does. Okay, so this is Art Studio Pro. I'm going to duplicate this layer. What? Sorry, I don't use Art Studio Pro that much, so I'm... What? I don't want to delete it. Come on. Come on, Lucky Clan. Why is duplicating a layer? Oh, there we go. That's not bad. All right. So what you want to do here is you want to go to adjustment layer, and then go to add threshold. And then what will happen is you'll see almost exactly what we just did, but you can adjust the levels. And if we look at this one in the middle, doesn't this look exactly like what we did here? Let's bring this down. Doesn't that look really close? Right? It calculated basically what is darkest and what is lightest. And you can see you get the main picture here. And it includes the lines, but you see everything that we did was basically spot on here. We have the the jewelry on her neck and her wrist, that little shadow on the right side of her shirt, her pants, all black, hair, all black, eyes, right? Look at this one. It's just the face, the hair, and the legs. Everything else is just white. And so when you do your colors and your values, everything should stick to the same group. You shouldn't have, if you have things that are, it's really easy to think, oh, now it's time to like, I'm gonna add these like, I don't know, let's say you want to add some like really bright highlights to her hair everywhere, or you add more details to the shadows here. If it's too bright, then when you do that threshold thing, it's going to be confusing. See all these details? They didn't show up in the threshold. Those shadows, none of them showed up. Right? None of those details showed up. It's just white. So that tells you that all of this should be the same value, similar color. You don't need to add that much detail. All of this looks like so complicated, but the reason it looks good is because when you do that threshold thing, it's all instant. This is simple for the brain to understand. Like hair, shirt, legs, face. So that's what I'm learning to do here. And so if you do something like this, do that trace over first, and then you can do the threshold and see how close you were. And then eventually what you want to do is do it to your own drawings and see if you can make them look appealing just by doing this practice with yourself, because with your own drawings you won't have the correct answer to look at like this. So yeah, it's interesting because I added more shadow here that we didn't need, but some of this is a stylistic choice, so it's not a big deal. Boomer Josh? Wait, what did I do that's Boomer? Right? Yeah, she's adorable. So, going back to what I've been working on is wanting to do this for myself. And I've noticed for myself that drawing, like, sometimes it's easier. I think it'll be easier for me to do this before I even add in a lot of details with the drawing. Because that's how I figured out that this is the hair shape I want. And that's how I figured out this is more or less the face shape that I want. So before I finish the drawing and commit to it, what I'd actually want to do is just go ahead and paint it this way. And this is actually a step that Rhino Tuna does in one of his tutorials on YouTube that I watch. If you go to his YouTube channel, he doesn't have that many videos, but he has like this one super long video that's a really helpful tutorial that you can watch for free. And he annotates it in English, this different steps. Hey, what's up, Warheart? You missed showing my hands? I gotcha, yeah. I was thinking of doing it the other stream, but I'm using my camera for another video I'm working on. But yeah, if I test it out one of these days and more people show up and enjoy it, that'd be great. Because honestly, streaming this is the easiest thing for me to stream, but the next easiest would be my hands. And then after that, it's actually painting on my computer. That's the hardest thing to stream, believe it or not. So yeah, those lines are kind of detailed, but that's what these images are for, to help me kind of figure that out. I did that same threshold tool to figure out where they're focusing their details and where they're just letting it go. So I want to work on that a little bit here. So I'm looking at this. The lighting in that reference is coming from below. I don't know if I want to do that or if I want to do something that's more animated like this. But you can see in either case the amount of lines and shadows for the nose are a bit unnecessary. But both of those styles aren't really like drawings, they're more like finished paintings. So it's you gotta make up your own mind in these situations. How often do I use my computer to draw? Not, I'd say maybe a third of the time, maybe. So I don't know exactly what kind of lighting scheme I would have just yet. So I start off with just doing some lines for the ambient occlusion shadows. If I make her top black, then it would be all black. That would work. For the cyberware on her body, though. Way less than you thought, yeah. iPad is nice, yeah, it's very convenient. I think with a illustration like this, either I'd want her outfit to be all black underneath, or I would make her top black. And I think I'm gonna go with her top being black because it just looks like a nicer balance. Because when you're picking out what's going to be dark colored, what's going to be in light and shadow, you want to have a nice ratio. And teaching what that is a bit challenging to people because it's a feeling type thing. All right, will it fill? It does. Nice. So you see how that immediately gives us Like I can tell what's going on in the image so much faster. It almost makes me want to just change the way I drew the arm here. Like maybe do something like this. You've always struggled how to navigate contrast designs with different skin tones, especially when there's less Exactly, right? Yeah, I've struggled with that too. Anime is the best solution, like has the solution to that. Looking at black characters in anime has been super helpful. Like, in this one, right? Her skin would be white if you were to do the distillation method. Her hair would be black. Here, I've actually done it for this one. All of her skin is white, except for this shadow. I think this shadow ended up being... I can actually check real quick. Yeah, that shadow ended up being black. This little... Oh, you guys can't see my mouse. This little area here ended up being white. Her clothing ended up being black. This little ring obviously was white. And then on her face, the only things that were black were her top lip, the shadow underneath her bottom lip, the details in the eyes and her glasses. And then her hair, obviously. Right? So it's a bit trickier, but it's still best if you follow that structure so that immediately when people look at it, they can see what's going on. What was I going for? And so yeah, thinking about things this simply is really helpful. Is this actually the correct anatomy here? Yep. Wait a second, is it frozen? Wait, the drawing screen? No. Yeah, it's not frozen. It could have been because I was actually dealing with that issue a little bit before stream started. No, I think I might be changing too much here. Or I'm just discovering huge anatomy issues that I'm fixing. this is starting to look. We could do this. We could make her pants black as well. But that would just be too much of the same looking shape. If we did this and made like her onesie or whatever black, and then we made the pants white. We'd need some sort of buffer here. I think I had it mostly right in the beginning. I think I overcorrected. In a way, I've kind of switched to drawing. Okay, this brush is not, it's not doing it. I feel like I'm getting a little bit better at this. Genshin? Yeah. Yeah, and that's it's a really nice soundtrack to listen to while you're working on stuff. I'm gonna turn it up a bit since I haven't been talking as much. It seems to be getting really quiet here and there. Thanks, Purpling. Yeah, I'm just trying to do my best to keep everything balanced. Yeah, that helps a lot. This is really good because I feel like I'm just training my what looks good rather than what's correct muscles. I'm just gonna wing it here and draw some, what do you call it? These kind of pants? Like, latex, is that the term? Yeah. The shiny pants, yeah. I think it's kind of an odd process to do this blacks first. Usually you want to, it's mostly black, so you want to just, well yeah, reverse that. It's mostly black, so you want to just, it's easier to just start with black and then erase away into it with white. But I guess I'm looking for happy accidents here. Hey, what's up, Butter? How you doing? This way we can still pretend it's black. I'm gonna look up latex pants on my phone real quick. Oh, come on, is that not allowed? Really? Oh, I'm getting tired of Pinterest doing this. Why? Okay. I type in drawing after the word and then it comes up. Right? Yeah. It's like I understand why it was difficult, but I understand why they don't allow you to search the word girl, right? But latex pants? Like, come on. You know how many like underwear ads I get when I'm just trying to find general drawing stuff? Like, there's clearly tons of content like that on there. Like, who are they kidding? It's just clothing. Even though there's going to be a secondary value for the latex, I'm going to focus on just showing only the super white parts. I wonder if I should do it. Yeah, that shape looks better. Wait, what? Huh. This is supposed to be all black, but alright. Got to dust off your drawing tablet after 6 months. Oh wow, that sucks. It's as good as day as any to start back though. Yeah, I think I was still erring in a bit too many details. Latex pants are one of those things that are actually easy to draw. It's just that you can't, there's no wiggle room for like not knowing how they actually look. Like they look a specific way. If you don't get it right, they're gonna look wrong. I have this weird lump in my throat. Don't know where it's coming from. Water usually helps. Well, let me say sometimes. Yeah, I don't think I would have gotten as interesting set of shapes as this if I didn't do this method. The best soda. Usually pretty simple, but I think the soda I was addicted to for the longest time was cherry Coca-Cola. It just really paired perfectly with all the salty Chick-fil-A I was eating at the time. But the one I get the most is Sprite, but it's mostly because because of the lemon flavor and it doesn't have caffeine. It's not like it's my favorite. What about you? Yeah, like that. I'm gonna test out another expression here. You don't think you've tried it? You should try it. I'm not really that big a fan of cherries, but I found it really, really tasty. Okay, I like that look. Oh, thanks, Purplan. Is it the one where she's looking? Is it more the lips or how she's looking towards us? I'm thinking of like giving her the vibe of like, do you really think I give a shit type of an expression here. Okay, what is this? No, I didn't. Yeah, there we go. Boom. I think. Emoji conversion. Yeah, this gives a lot more personality than this one, I think. Nah, I kind of like this. I really like how I don't really have to worry about the anatomy right now. It's just what looks good at a glance to me here. It's really freeing. And I think this would be a good time to add a lot of detail into the hair. So I'm just gonna go ahead and paint white. I need to create another version of this brush that doesn't... Let's just work on it now. Wait, is it a good time to... Oh, I went way past my break.
Oh, thanks, Purple. All right.
Yeah, I think this is pretty damn good. We started off with just this and that. Now we're here. Yeah, I like this a lot better. It almost stands on its own as its own piece, right? Like, even though the reflections here aren't perfect, it's a great start. Alright, I will be back at 6. I'll give myself a 10-minute break here. 6:15 p.m. minus 4 GMT. Slash Eastern. Is it? It's Eastern Daylight Savings. Is it EDT or EST today? Or this time of year? Yeah, okay, it's EDT. This is wrong too. It's UTC. Alright, I'm back early. But I want to work on something else. I want to do another sketch. This was from a reference that I had on my phone. Did I bring it here? No, not yet. Wait a sec. No. Let's do this one. Oh, nice. They stay private if you merge them. I was experimenting with drawing with a bit of a larger brush, because I've noticed some artists, like Rhino Tuna, doesn't really draw with a fine brush at first. Oh, thanks, Purple Ann. All right, let's wait. You guys haven't been... The only music you hear is, wait, what the heck? Okay, I'm back. Wait, Safari wasn't muted? Have you guys been hearing two different music soundtracks the whole time? Okay, you haven't. Good. You were looking at the art. No worries. That means you weren't distracted, so it's good enough for me. I'm wondering if it's just a stylistic choice, but looks like I made, like there's a lot more space next to the eyes than there needs to be. So either I don't think I made the eyes too big. Either the whole head is too big. Yep. And then we'll just move this slightly to the left. Oh, thanks, Purple Ann. I'm glad you did. Is it going well? Or is it being difficult? How I record my iPad. Since I'm using a MacBook, I can just plug it into my MacBook, and then I can use the app called QuickTime, which is basically its default video player, and that can connect to the screen. Or I could plug it in directly into OBS, and OBS will recognize it. Might just stick to how her lips look in my drawing. Oh, no problem, Otaku. It is my pleasure. There's so many areas here that are working well because I didn't have any opportunity to add too much detail with the brush that I'm using. But I'm seeing a few tiny errors after duplicating the canvas. The space between the eyes is one eye? Yeah. Unless you want to exaggerate it or draw an anime character, then it's always one eye, but the thing is an anime character's eyes are going to be big. I have a habit of making it too big, like using more than one eye. A lot of people have slightly different measurements, yeah. A lot of really well-known celebrities have completely different measurements. The general rule is that the more distance, the more feminine it looks. But it's only just because there has to be an extreme. It doesn't mean that it only works with women. It's just, this is the tendency, right? So it's like, the more muscles you add to a person, the more masculine they look. But you can still have a female character that has, you know, a bodybuilder's muscle mass. But obviously that's going to reduce the femininity of that character. So it wouldn't really work if you're trying to use a character like that and you wanted them to feel very weak and tell a story about delicacy. It'd be kind of, I mean, I guess you could, because then that would be the whole point, to challenge that. But if you didn't make it that whole point, then it would be hard for people to understand. There's something with this pose that just feels... I might make my own pose here. Do I have a Discord? Yes. It should be in the, Is it in the description? Yeah, but Instagram is pretty barren. I feel you, man. You don't see it? Okay. Let me... Wait, actually looks better. I think the problem is I always add it in chat when someone asks. I forget to add it to the actual description of the stream. So let me see if I can actually do that now. Let me see. Oh, come on. I don't think I can edit the stream. Wait, what happened? Why is it black? You guys can still see it, right? Okay, I can add it. Awesome. Discord. Copy, paste. Wow. Save. Probably update that link later, but that should get you into the Discord. It's fair warning, it's pretty barren right now because I keep forgetting to post there afterwards. I've been getting really tired lately, but what's been working really well for me is not trying to make everything perfect, you know? I don't have to have the perfect stream with all the effects and all that stuff to stream. And it's pretty clear by those of you who are still here. Who, not still here, but who come to watch the streams. Pray tell, do you share your PureRef files? I don't, but I think I want to. That would be good. Yeah, so I will do that. I promise. I will do that. Actually, I don't think I can say that. I forgot. PureRef files are big. Yeah. Oh, wait, here's something. Still, what is the limit now on Discord? Is it 10 megabytes if you don't have Nitro? They made it worse. I'm gonna reduce the resolution because right now it's literally 19,000 pixels. So let's do 8,000 and hopefully... I'm just gonna do it now. And then I'll try and see about what I can do after the stream if I can get more resolution, because it's like a lot. There's a lot. Oh no, where did it export them to? Oh, onto the desktop. 19 megabytes. This should work. Oh my god, it is 10 megabytes. It's so ridiculous. Why couldn't they leave it to be 50? Alright, at least I have it. I'll try and figure something else out. Because I've been moving away from... Yeah, it is 10 megabytes. I've been moving away from doing cloud storage because it's just so unnecessary. I'm gonna call this Hikaru because that's who she reminds me of. And cue the Kingdom Hearts music. Awesome. Alright. What would be funny? I'm gonna add an image. Please ignore the weird image of whatever that character's name is from Incredibles. I'm gonna use that for my distillation practice, like you see these other black and white images. Trying to see if there's a reference of any characters that have a funny expression I could... Alright, I'm just gonna find one from Pinterest. Any of you guys have an idea for expression for this character? It's called PureRef. It's available on Mac and Windows. Wacky Gamer, PureRef. Uploaded to some cloud. Yeah, that's the problem. I don't want to. The more steps it gets, like, less chances I'll actually do it consistently. That's why Patreon is great, because, you know, that basically has built-in cloud storage. And since, what is that? It's a PNG. If I compress it to a JPEG, let's see what it is. pure ref. Day is it? 051726. Now that's 4.9 megabytes. Alright, let's see how this looks. Huh. Yeah, it's definitely pixelated, but it definitely is. Yeah, it's still usable. Okay, I can add it to the Discord, guys. Nice. Nice. They're there. My current canvas size is should be 5,000 by 4,000, just about. Let me see. Yeah, 4 by 5,000. It's a little bit off the edges. This canvas is 19,000. That's why PureRef is awesome. It doesn't get bogged down with tons of high resolution images. Oh, I want to do a meme expression. I've been into those lately. I wish I could pull up Pinterest here, but Pinterest has gotten really... Like, I can't just pull it up on stream without taking too much of a risk. Let's see if I can do a Mr. Bean. Oh, this is even better. It's really similar to that one, like really I'm sus meme. I need to start screenshotting more of these that when I see them on Instagram. Pinterest, or you meant to say Pinterest is a passion these days? No problem, Rito. Oh, there's I didn't realize there's like a low poly expression for Mr. Bean. Yeah, there's one where the guy is basically like trying to do it from memory. I'm making the weirdest faces right now. That's not it, but Oh yeah, the key part is that their top lip is folded over. Oh my god, it still doesn't look like it. It's like you're squinting like, Like, I doubt it. Yeah, I found it now. Wow, this is way off. Alright, let's try one more time. This is good practice, because then you, learn what you struggle to remember about stuff. It almost looks like laughing, but it's not quite. It's like that. Ben Evelyn? Yeah. He's awesome. I know he streams pretty regularly too. Okay, so let's try and do that expression here. Are these my Cyberpunk? Oh, the Cyberpunk ones were from earlier in the stream. Is this one? I need to figure out how to get her to blow steam from her neck. Basically. Design some sort of cyberware for that. And then this is the other one where I was talking about distillation. This took me forever, guys, to come up with the chrome look for her fingers. There's another layer. This should be on. These are different expressions that I was trying out. I did these at 3 a.m. Pretty happy. These different expressions when I couldn't sleep. And then I need to, like, now that I've figured out the balance of values, right? Because you can tell exactly what it is even when it's that small. Right, you know what I want you to look at? Her face, her chest, the chrome, and then everything else will be low-level detail. Can you believe it used to look like this? This is the importance, right? Like, see how much clearer it is? The only thing I do miss is the simplicity of the shapes. But yeah, like look at that one. This is how it got better over time. What? I guess it's both of these that I want. But yeah, after that, we do the colors. So that one's taking forever because I'm learning a lot. The chrome, thanks. Right? I appreciate it. Yeah, getting it clean and simple. Like, how do you show chrome as simple as possible? That was a challenge. But you gotta have chrome if you're gonna show... if you're gonna do Cyberpunk, right? That's why I love anime and silly stuff. Like, I don't have to worry about the perfect position of the nose. At what point do I feel like I was not only able to see my mistakes but correct them? I feel like that's a variable thing. Like, there are always mistakes that there are mistakes that I can see but I don't know how to correct, and then there's mistakes that I can see that I can correct, but it takes me a long time. There's like different levels to it. There's mistakes that you see, but there's mistakes that you won't see until you post it. So, I think the biggest jump, I guess, would be... maybe... Jure... I don't know. If you just look at my Instagram page, maybe that'll help. Like, 2020-ish? Well, 6 years ago. I feel like this pose needs her to actually be in a different head position for it to work. Then the model's name on the left? I'd love to know that too. But I don't. Unless... no, okay, yeah, I don't know. Okay, it looks like my reference board isn't... oh, it is updating, okay. Cinema. Kind of wild to hear you were following me since about 2020. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it was a lot of struggle. Like 2020 around then is when I stopped having those nights where I'm just like, maybe I should give up drawing completely. And it was dark and it'd just be hours and I'm like literally about to just throw in the table. Now, I mean, I still get like really bad days, but I don't ever like actually. Okay, never mind. That's not true. I don't get it for the same reasons. The reasons that I'll think of like giving up is like financial stuff. It's not pure skill level like it was back then. Back then it will be like, oh, I'm just so bad. Detective? Oh, I mean, here's, if you want a screenshot. Oh yeah, right here. I don't know what this is. It's not AI. I like to think that I know not to pick those references. Not that I can tell, but it's like, you know, like there's people don't like the actually good realistic AI images out there. They aren't on Pinterest. Because one of the biggest issues with AI is it's just whatever is popular, you know? Like actual creatives aren't really using it to make new stuff. All of the really good stuff I haven't seen on Pinterest. I only see it on like Reddit. The stuff that like would fool you. Goo. Joe. Hey. Why are we looking for the model's ID? Well, I mean, so you can find more pictures. Like, thankfully I don't have to look for the model for her because I can just screenshot the different expressions in the video. Well, I guess I'm just giving the benefit of the doubt. She could look cuter. There's something I'm missing here. Oddly comforting, and also something that seems to be Argot's plight overall, yeah. Yeah, art is the point. There we go. This is making me wonder. She's rotated her head. But it makes me wonder if this was never actually at the right angle in the first place. Well, we can cheat. Because I'm getting the feeling I'm going to want to do something with this sketch. And show both of them. Oh, whoa, whoa. Oh, that works. Why are we doing anything? It's passion. Yeah. I feel that. This is my reaction when you ask for the name of the model. Forced with a difficult creative decision here. Since you can't see her eyebrows, is it better to just do a different eyebrow expression? I know what kind of man you are. Whoa, wait. This is Genshin Impact. So it is you. Wait, who is it? Who is you? Let me see if I can paste the reference I've been looking at here. Oh man, I love Apple. I can just paste. This is it. Man, the thumbnail for this stream is somewhat misleading now. What do you practice to get better at faces from imagination? Because without ref, you realize, yeah, it's hard. Stylized ones are a start, but you've gotta. It's kind of grueling. Like the one strategy is pretty grueling. I started doing it here in this one example. Where is it? I think it's on this layer. I mean, in this file. Yeah, okay. So you've got to like actually look at, okay, what does it mean to draw a nose? And so you just find references of all the types of noses that you like and draw them over and over and over again. And every single time you get it wrong, you try it again. Like your eyebrows and eyelashes I like. Mouths that I like. Eyes that I liked. And then you just keep redrawing it. So, and then before that you want to simplify it because it's difficult to memorize stuff that's complex. You want to just let's see, where's one that I did from imagination? The only face I did from imagination is the Netrunner girl. Okay, see, this face I did from imagination, but technically not because I used that reference, right? But I remember, like, at the corner of the lips, this is the thing that looks good in certain scenarios. Then that dip, boom, right? Then that. Then I know that works as a nose. This works as a nose. Like, depending on the angle, that works as an, like, this works as a nose. Not at this angle. This works as a nose. And then, yeah, so you remember all the types. And then once you start drawing from imagination more, you kind of have to change how you draw. Like, you don't draw by setting up a structure anymore. That's not going to work. He wasn't sure if he'd practice features in isolation or just faces. Both of them are important. Because that's how you get your style too. Like, eventually, the features... Yeah, drawing from imagination, you can kind of cheat it. Even if you don't have good visualization, just memorize one style of a face. And then you can just change it. Like, literally intentionally develop same face syndrome. If you can draw the same face all the time, you can at least make your own newspaper comic. Like, people talk about same face syndrome as if it's, you should avoid it like the plague. If you can draw the same face at any angle, any expression, that's a great skill to have. If you can draw two, even better. Just be careful, with anime, the proportions are very different. So it's hard to switch back and forth with them. That's why lately I've been studying JJK. That's been helping me with stuff like this, because it's more realistic. Finding and building shorthand, yes. It's fine for now. I'm just leaving it the way it is until it gets too big or too many rowdy people around there. I think the thing that I would just avoid doing is too much self-promotion. There should be only like a dedicated place for that. I don't know if that's still there or not. Okay, blending is not. It's not what we want to do right now. I'll be doing a little workshop on drawing faces in less than 2 weeks. can't necessarily tell you, but it's an online event. You might be interested in that. I'll advertise is probably sometime this week. Yeah, definitely sometime this week. You'll be seeing me post about it in my stories on Instagram and on my community page here on YouTube. Nice, I'm happy with this. Her head looks a bit small. Yeah. I just tend to like to draw bigger heads. Why am I not? How long have we been streaming, y'all? 2:36, not bad. Yeah, her head needs to be bigger here, because she's like... Yeah. I feel like I'm very subtly changing the perspective. I need to be careful. Good question. Ergo, like ergonomic, or the word? Therefore, yes, it's that one. Ergonomic does also just tend to fit with the brand image, so to speak. Yeah, it's inspired by ergo from ergo proxy, but literal is therefore. Did I ruin it, guys? Oh, thankfully, because of the digital nature of this, I can have both and decide later. Yeah, I'll just do a poll on Instagram and see. But I feel like this is one of those things where most people wouldn't notice. Thanks, Purplean. You wondered about that? Yeah, ergoProxy had some of your favorite character design moments, right? Yeah, even this character is inspired by Rael. I still haven't done any fan art of her because, yeah, I liked her so much. See the little... Ooh, let's do that here as the last thing for this character. Give her a little Rael shadow. Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. All right, y'all. Thanks so much for hanging out with us on stream with me. It's been great. And I will see y'all in the future. In the next stream or in a YouTube video. Check out the Discord. Link should be in the description this time. And yeah. Take care. Have a great rest of your Sunday evening or night or morning, wherever you are. If it's Monday, happy Monday. Peace.